It's going to be a crazy one tonight, folks. Let me tell you. RB has not won yet, but they've had some very close games. For example, the Ridgewood game came down to a last-second drive. If they would have gotten one more playoff, they were on the 20-yard line. They had a shot at the end zone. It's come down to just close games. They put up points before. They have. Against Westside a couple weeks ago, the Bulldogs put up 49 points against a relatively good Westside defense. Sad story, Westside put up 76. So, we're trying to shrink the scoring margin slowly. Bulldogs only lost by 6 in the last game. So they're getting better and better, and they play a lot of tough teams this season. The coaches know that. They schedule tough teams at the beginning of the season to get them prepared for the immense task of winning conference. That's what they expect. And now we will all face the flag for the playing of your national anthem. That was fantastic direction by the band under direction of Mr. Baum and drum majors Ben Longo and Rachel Bennett. Okay, some keys for the game tonight for the Bulldogs have to be the running back position. How's Zach Paskey going to do? If he doesn't do well, is Butch Wicken ready to step up to the varsity role? We've already had a sophomore like Butch come in as Ryan Swift and honestly play better than Jack has in the last couple games. Jack, he had a shoulder injury and then got after a great game by Ryan Swift, got demoted to wide receiver. Well, if you want to call that demotion, his position changed. He still wants to be a contributor, and he still can be a contributor for the Bulldogs. But it's just that extra responsibility for the sophomore Swift. We will see how that plays out. So potentially we could have sophomores in 2 of our most key positions tonight. It's going to be a little crazy. Glenbard's roster is looking, quite honestly, a little terrifying. They have some really great players, and we'll see how this works out shortly as the captains are about to come onto the field for the coin toss. Other keys for the game for the Bulldogs have got to be the defense, the pass defense especially. If they make either the pass defense or the run defense has to be good. You don't have to have both to be fantastic. Both have to be mediocre, but they both don't have to be fantastic. If you completely stuff the run or completely stuff the pass and make the opponent one-dimensional, either having to rely on the pass or the run, then that will make them easier to beat. On your defense, they make their offense much, much easier to beat. Okay, now Glenbard ready to kick away to RB. Kicker for Glenbard, number 48, Jose Hernandez. Hernandez, booming kick. Controlled by Anton. Anton Dixon. Cuts up and gets so warm by 3 or 4 Glenbard players, but gives the Bulldogs decent field position. They'll be starting from their own 24-yard line. You know, that's not a bad. Anton did a decent job there. They didn't want a negative play to start the game, and they didn't get a negative play to start the game. You know, he could have cut it upfield for longer, but that's not what they're asking for him right now. They just don't want any mistakes. All right, Swift. Corralled by number 84, Dean Zigalich. Or rather, Kyle Tracy, tight end. Kyle, a little bit of an undersized tight end, but he's not really known for his blocking, but he can certainly get it done. He was a tight end sophomore year and moved out to wide receiver. All right, pass. Swung it out to number 24, Dean Zigalich, who gets the first down on the second and mediocre. Moves the Bulldogs ball down to the 34-yard line. All right, Swift under center. Snap to Swift. Looking for Rogers. Rogers, come back, and he drops it. You know, that's the story of the game for the Bulldogs against Ridgewood. They had double-digit drops, over 10. Most of which were by number 80 right there, Lewis Rogers. He likes to try to run without the ball, if you know what I mean. He doesn't have the hands required to be able to get those yak yards or yards after the catch that he wants to get. Because he's a quick guy. He's on track. He's a really quick guy. And he wants to use that quickness, but he has to focus on catching the ball, really watch the ball into his hands. If you would have seen that replay right there. Here he is again. Watch the ball into his hands, and he got a great catch. Great stiff arm by Lewis. Almost broke it around the outside. Gets his helmet taken off and moves the ball down to the 43-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2. Swift getting the call in from the sideline. That was good. You see Lewis washing into his hands, and he was able to do something after that. But you can't run without the ball. He has to make sure he has the ball before he starts to run. Okay, snap to Swift. Here it is. Makes the handoff, runs up the gut himself, and gets absolutely swamped. Does not even make it back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a 4th and possibly 2. We'll see if the Bulldogs, and it looks like they are bringing out the punting unit here, playing it safe. They don't want to give Glenbard great field position to start off. They'd rather win the field position battle early, which may turn into points later. 10 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first quarter. As Ben Brandos back for the punt. Snap to Brandos. He got a little bit under that one. It's a short punt. And takes a Glenbard hop. Rolls out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So that ended up only being around a 20-yard punt anyway. So I don't know. I don't want to speculate on whether it was wise or not to go for that. Try to go for that first down on 4th. But they gave Glenbard decent field position on the poor punt. All right, back for quarterback for the Raiders, Alex Jeske, who's in the shotgun right now. Snap to Jeske. Handoff to number 3, Zach Smith. And Zach Smith gets about 7 yards. It will be 2nd and 3. You got to watch out. Alex Jeske is absolutely explosive. He has a great arm, but even better than him, Zach Smith, the running back. They're handed off to him again. It's almost the same exact play, and he breaks through the line of scrimmage and keep it on going. Oh, man, there are about 8 Bulldogs trying to pop the ball out, and he just runs right through them. They have to have fundamental tackling against such a powerful back as Zach. He's a compact guy, only 5'10", but he is 185. A lot of muscle on his stout frame, a lot of leg power behind him. Jake Straza now in the game at running back. Around the end to Clark Gary. Clark Gary gets the first down, not out of bounds. The clock will continue to run, but they do get the first down or are very close to it. And nope, they did not give them the first down. It is second and very short for the Raiders. I like that play, trying to get the Bulldogs on their heels, make sure the defensive ends are not crashing the middle too quickly, keep them honest, keep them in their lanes. Screenplay. Oh, and he has a lot of blockers in front of him. He cuts up and out of bounds at around the 11-yard line. That was great, great blocking scheme. You saw a lot of linemen out in the second level, which the secondary or the safeties, trying to get a block, spring their running back free, which they did. Got the big play on the second and short. 8:24 left in the first quarter. Score is still 0-0. Jeske hands out to Smith, and Smith powers into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown, Glenbard South. That was really hard downhill running by Zach Smith, the running back. He is a powerful back, and the Bulldogs cannot try to arm tackle him. They have to wrap up his legs because he will fight right through the arm tackles. If you've seen on pretty much every play he's been in so far, he's battling through, pushing through arm tackles like they're nothing. And now to kick for the Raiders, Jose Hernandez. Through the uprights, and Hernandez makes the score. 7-0, Glenbard South. Well, that's not what the Bulldogs wanted at all. They were on their heels pretty much the whole drive. Glenbard South got 10-yard play, 8-yard play, 7-yard play, 15, 20-yard play, almost every single one. And that'll kill your momentum no matter if it's your home game, coming game or not. Oh man, I just feel bad for the Bulldogs right now. They have to get back, keep their spirits up, say, you know what, it's only 7-0, we're only down by a touchdown. Let's go out there and give it another score. Which is what I think the coach is telling them right now. Jose Hernandez. Back to kick. To receive for the Bulldogs. Number 3, Antone Dixon. But they kick away from him and into the end zone. Automatic touchback if the ball goes into the end zone. As in high school, you're not allowed to bring it out of the end zone if the ball goes in the end zone. So that's a big, big advantage for any kicker or any team, rather, to have a kicker that has that type of leg power. Swift comes trotting to the huddle for RB, ready to deliver the play. All right, wide to the left, Lewis Rogers and Kyle Tracy. Snap to Swift. Swift, pitch out. Oh, and he cuts up the middle. What a great play by number 44, which is Zach Pasker. The first-time running back, linebacker combo. He's actually listed as a wide receiver in the roster. That just shows you how thin the Bulldogs are at running back because of injury. All right, Swift in the shotgun. Swift swings it out. And that was Dean Zigalich with a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. those little plays, getting the ball out of Ryan Swift's hands early, that will help your offensive line quite some. If they get the ball out of their hands early, even with a mediocre offensive line, you can still deliver the ball down the field. And you can still move the chains. I mean, look at that play. 4 yards just on a little screen pass. There's no chance the pass rusher is getting to Swift on that play. And here comes a longer developing play. Swift takes off himself. Big hit delivered by Swift, and it looks like he got the first down. What a great play by Ryan Swift. He knew he was close to that first down. If he would have slid, you know he would have been short. He just crushes the DB on that one and achieves the first down at the 41-yard line. Great play by Ryan Swift, getting his offense pumped up. Lewis Rogers split all the way out to the left. Dixon, Zigalich, and Tracy, the right. Tracy motions. Zigalich coming across the line of scrimmage. And, oh man, it looks like they're going to have to call an illegal motion on the Bulldogs. We'll see what the call is. Yep, illegal motion on the Bulldogs. You know, you can't have a player moving in the backfield like that. They aren't exactly allowed to do that. I can understand what they were trying to do there, but I don't think the play was executed properly. 6:56 left in the first quarter. Bulldogs down 7-0. Can't have penalties like that. That's a mental penalty, you know. That's a mental penalty. That'll kill a drive. They got a little bit of momentum off a great Swift run, and they're back right up to where they were before the first down. Handoff to Pacer, who gets blown up in the backfield by number 80 on Glenbard, Javonis Hawkins. Well, you know, I don't know I'm not sure how to feel about the offensive line at this point so far. They've had a couple good blocking on Pacer's run, but on that one, that was not that stellar. And he gets blown up in the backfield. Now it's second and even longer. All right, now the pass rushers are rushing downhill. Ooh, incomplete pass to Zach Pacer. Dean Zigalich tied up with the DB, trying to lay out for the ball. If I could have one criticism of Ryan Swift, that would probably what it would be. His underneath passing route, he needs to learn to not try to guide it and really fit the ball into the tight windows. Or even when they're not so tight, even if they're wide open, give the ball to the receiver in stride. Let them run upfield and make a play. RB has a plethora of fast receivers, and we need to utilize them better. And it's 3rd and 20 here. Swift to Dixon. And he gets tackled immediately by the Glenbard South defensive back. And that will force 4th down, and the Bulldogs punting unit to come onto the field. Back to receive the kick for Glenbard is number 20, Andrew Werona. Brandos awaiting the snap from Lopez. Brandos. Ooh, nearly gets the punt blocked. It's a line drive right to Werona. Great tackle by the Bulldogs on the line drive punt. Brandos could have given them a little bit more time there, but got the job done. Not a very lengthy return by Andrew Werona. And Glenbard will begin possession at the 47-yard line. Again, fantastic field position for Glenbard. Let's see if the defense can make strides in this second possession by offensive possession for Glenbard. See if they can get some points. Great catch made in traffic, and he's still battling. That is number 84. And there's a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. The players have to be separated. Excuse me, number 24, Jake Straza. the running back out of the backfield. Just kind of sat in the zone. No one picked him up. And they were able to make the complete pass. But you have to, actually on that play, you have to credit the quarterback, Alec Jetsky. He just whipped that ball in there, put it right in the running back or receiver's stomach. Handoff to Smith. Zach Smith bounces outside. And gets about 10 yards on the play. Zach Smith also moves the chains, and it'll be a Glenbard first down. All right. Snap to Jeske. Jeske. Oh, and that's a great move by number 44, Zach Sharif. Zach Sharif listed as a DB. Excuse me, that is number 4, Tyler Scott, wide receiver. And Tyler picks up another Glenbard first down as they're receiving no resistance from the Bulldogs defense currently. Jeske scrambles. Chased down by a couple of Bulldogs, but he manages to escape. He's deceptively quick as he cuts it outside, bounces it outside around pretty much the whole Bulldog defense. He almost ran that in for a score. That's number 7 for Glenbard, Alex Jeske. He has those long legs, and he can get them moving fast, and that was a sharp cut for a quarterback right there. Jeske in the pistol. Jake Strauss behind him. Handoff around the end to Zach Smith. Zach Smith powering, does not get it. Good stop by the Bulldogs, but not after Zach gets 5 yards. Now it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2 or 3 yard line. Looks like the 2 yard line. Jeske, handoff up the gut, and stuffed by the Bulldogs, just short of the goal line. It'll be 3rd and goal from inside the 1 for Glenbard South. I would expect them to hand it off to their power back, Zach Smith here. Senior, compact guy, get those legs moving. They're certainly bringing in their big package today. Okay, Alec Jeske in the pistol. Zach Smith behind him. Rollout. Wide open, number 21, Clark Gary for Glenbard South, and he was 3 steps ahead of his defender on that one. I think the Bulldogs, just as I was, were thinking run. And when the pass came, they were not ready for it at all, and they were on their heels. Hernandez for the extra point. He puts it well through the uprights, making the score Glenbard South Raiders 14, Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs 0, with 2:50 left in the first quarter. I would have really liked to see the Bulldogs force a field goal try on that one, or maybe even a turnover on downs. It was fourth and goal. If they would have stopped that 3rd down play that was a pass for a touchdown, probably would have tried to run it on 4th down. But either way, I wish I would have seen a stop there. It's tough. Glenbard's a big team. They're a fast team. So are the Bulldogs. I think they can compete here. The score doesn't show it, but I think the Bulldogs are doing just fine for now. We'll see as the game moves on. All right, Hernandez. Back to kick. Jose. Short kick. Oh, man, that may roll into the end zone. Muffed, fumbled. Tried to bring out by Lewis Rogers. And Lewis gets stopped at about the 12-yard line. Lewis, the ball hasn't been too hot to handle. There's a lot of spin on it, bouncing all over the place. Not an easy ball to pick up. Looks a lot easier on TV than it is out there. All right. And as Swift jogs out to the huddle, Bulldogs begin their third offensive possession after coming up with nada their last two. We'll see how they do in their third one. Swift under center. Paceker behind him. Ziglich motions. Snap to Swift. Paceker, weak side handoff, and gets stuffed by number 35, Connor Willis. You know, that was the right play call. No one was in that gap right there to block Connor Willis, who was coming in quick. Swift under center. Davis and Ziegler split out to the left. Dixon split out to the right. Swift underneath to Zach Paceker, tries to bounce it outside, but gets stopped by number 25, Matt Shipler. That was the right play call. I like the underneath passing accuracy by Swift. Gave Zach Paceker the ball in space. Zach couldn't really do anything with it there with a linebacker right on him, but gave an opportunity for him to possibly break a big one, as it is 3rd and 11 from their own 12-yard line. Swift receives the snap. Looking for anyone open, not seeing anybody, tries to tuck it, runs out of bounds himself. Yeah, that's certainly not going to get it. He only got 4 or 5 yards on that one. And the Bulldogs will have to punt from inside their own 20, giving Glenbard, again, fantastic field position. We need a big punt by Ben Brandos. Great kick by Ben Brandos. Fair catch called for by number 20 on Glenbard South, Andrew Rona. But despite the fair catch, Glenbard will still get great field position at the Bulldogs' 43-yard line. I want to see some positive defensive plays here for the Bulldogs. Glenbard is getting their way on pretty much everything so far. I want to see a pass breakup. I want to see a run stop to the line. I want to see something to build momentum on defensively, because the Bulldogs have got nothing early. Pass to a wide open receiver who drops it. And that was in and out of the hands of Clark Gary, the wide receiver. That's a good start. Now it'll be 2nd and 10. If the Bulldogs limit him to 3 or 4 yards on this play, could make a very uncomfortable 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Alrighty then. Alex Jeske in the pistol. Behind him, Zach Smith. Jeske receives a snap. Hand off to Smith. Bulldogs thought they stopped him, but he plowed forward for an extra 4 yards. Now it'll be 3rd and about 6 for Glenbard South. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. We need to get a stop here. Something to build momentum on. If they get a stop here, incomplete pass possibly. Or it may be another run to Zach Smith, who's been consistently getting 6 or 7 yards tonight. Well, flag call on. Let's see. It looks like it will be offsides on the defense, on the Bulldogs. Still third down. But it'll be a 3rd and 1 instead of a 3rd and 6. If you don't think that makes a difference, you're crazy. That is unfortunate for the Bulldogs, who needed a defensive stop. RB needed a defensive stop. And we'll see if they can get it on a 3rd and 1. I don't think a Glenbard South running play has not gone for 1 yard all game. See if RB's defensive front stacking 7 guys in the box. Timeout. Glenbard South not liking something RB's doing, possibly running out of time. Not quite sure. Probably we're going to run it right into an occupied gap by the Bulldogs. That's an acknowledgement of the smart coaching for RB. 7.6 seconds left in the first quarter. Bulldogs down 14-0. Glenbard has the ball on the 34-yard line. Okay, now the Bulldogs come back out. 3rd and 1 for Glenbard South. Alex Jeske in the pistol. Behind him, Zach Smith. 4 wide receiver set. It looks like maybe a quarterback draw. Nope, a pass play. Oh, and they're finding Smith and overshot him. It'll be 4th and 1. With Glenbard's dominance at the line of scrimmage today, I think the whole stadium knows that they're going for it. All right, 3 seconds left in the first quarter. Glenbard up 14-0. 4th and 1. This could be a big stop for the Bulldogs. The thing about this, they cannot arm tackle. You cannot arm tackle on these short yardage situations. All right. Here we go. Around the end of 21, gets it. That would be 21 Clark Gary. Gets the first down right at the end of the first quarter. The score, Glenbard South Raiders 14, your Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs 0. We'll be right back after these commercial messages. While you're gone, Glenbard South scored a touchdown on an underneath passing route. And Hernandez makes a score, 21-0, Glenbard South, with just 10 seconds gone by in the second quarter. Oh, man, RB looked like they were just getting some defensive momentum, and there it went, right out the window, as the big play by the Raiders makes the score, makes the gap 3 scores. All right, we need to get some points here. We cannot come away empty-handed for the 4th straight time this game. All right. Back to receive the kick. Lewis Rogers and Anton Dixon. All right, Hernandez preparing to kick it away to begin the Bulldogs' 4th offensive possession. Kick to Lewis Rogers, who cannot hang on to it, and the ball's on the ground. Lewis takes a tackler, and he cuts outside. Barely makes it to the 26-yard line, and he's lucky to get that. Number 9, Jack Curtis, nearly got him on probably the 5 or 6 yard line. Thank God Lewis has one heck of a juke move and stiff arm, and was able to get outside and get those extra yards. Got the crowd fired up, and that's the spark the Bulldogs offense needs. Again, we see Lewis having a hard time hanging on to the ball. Catch the ball, big man. Come on. Ryan Swift under center. Snap to Swift. Swift searching the field. Finds a wide open Dean Ziglich. He sat right in the zone. Fantastic delivery by Ryan Swift, and an even better catch by Dean Ziglich. You know, I'll go on the record saying that Dean has some of the best hands of this RB team. He rarely drops the ball. If he drops the ball, you know he's having a bad night. Snap to Swift. Fakes the handoff and gets stuffed. That was a couple Glenbard South players on the breakup, namely number 90, Erwin Lane. Man, that's a big guy. 5'10" only, but 220 pounds. Try to stop him on a bull rush. Swift under center. Pacer in the backfield. 3 wide receiver set. Searching for Tracy, who good move and gets a couple extra yards on the second and very long. Great play by number 84, Kyle Tracy, on that one. All right, now the Bulldogs on the 40-yard line. First time they've been in opponent's territory this game. Swift steps up in the pocket, delivers a pass too high for Antone Dixon. That would have been a 5 or 6 yard completion if he would have hauled that in. Antone even laying out, didn't even get close to getting a hand on it. Ryan Swift knows that's his fault on that one. All right, unbalanced line to the right. Swift in the shotgun. Pasker has a bit of a hospital pass, but what I mean by hospital pass is that ball was upwards. Zach Pasker had to elevate his hands, and that just takes half a second longer for him to bring the ball down to his midsection and be able to absorb a hit. He could have taken a big shot to the midsection. You know, a helmet, a shoulder pad in the gut does not feel good. Now in the backfield, who I haven't mentioned before, Marvin McKenzie, normally wide receiver, very, very fast guy. And there he goes in split out all the way to the right of the first receiver, Antone Dixon. Swift gets taken down by number 35, Connor Willis, the linebacker. And that's not what the Bulldogs are looking for. Finally, they were getting something going, and then right away it gets stopped by a couple negative offensive plays. Okay, Brondos back to punt. To receive the kick for the Raiders, number 20, Andrew Rona. Brondos, oh man, the kick almost blocked again as it over the head of Andrew Rona and into the end zone. Glenbard will receive the ball at the 20-yard line. I think Brondos were trying to just kick a line drive angled punt, but it went way wide and out of the back of the end zone. All right. Oh, and that's a deep ball, perfectly in stride and hauled in by number 34, Jimmy Ebel. What a great pass and an even better catch by Ebel. That's something Arby's been lacking, a deep passing threat. You see, that was just a perfect ball right past the outstretched hands of the defender and right into the hands of Ebel, the receiver. Alex Jeske not liking something, changing up the play a little bit. Oh, and he's not ready for that snap. Smith falls on it, but that is a big loss. That was probably a 20, 25-yard loss. My goodness. That's the best defensive play the Bulldogs have had all night for sure, as it'll be second in forever. All right, 7:45 left in the second half, first half rather. Second quarter. Second down and a ways. Fakes the handoff. Oh, and no, he does not fake the handoff. Swift has it and runs for about solid 20 yards. That was a great 20-yard play. Brings him within striking distance of the first down. Oh, man, of all the things the Bulldogs could have done there, that was not it. Okay, number 7, Alex Jeske in the pistol. They like in this formation. 3 wide receivers split to the left, 1 split to the right. Unbalanced line with, oh man, and he's wide open. Smith is a blocker in front, and Jeske may get there, and he does. Oh my goodness, who could have thunk it? Glenbard South converted eventually on a 2nd and 35. Man, that's got to make the defensive coaches for the Bulldogs frustrated. Off a trick play and a quarterback scramble. Glenbard got 35 yards in 2 plays. That's what we've seen from them all day. Explosive, powerful. Top of your screen. Oh, pitch out. Swift, and he cuts upfield. Balls over a defender and keeps on going. What a great play for Zach Smith, who's just been waltzing up and down Shuey Stadium tonight. He is running straight over almost every defender out there. Okay. Jeske. Oh, and he overthrew his receiver. He was looking for number 21, Clark Gary again, who's had a big game so far. No, I'm pretty accurate. That's uncharacteristic of Alex Jeske. Okay, 4 wide receivers set. Jeske in the pistol. They love the option of having an extra space for Jeske to throw and space for Smith to run just like that. First, just stiff-armed the heck out of one Bulldog, and then ran almost straight through the arm tackle of another one, barely wrapped him up by the shoe. I don't think the defensive coach can be very proud of the effort tonight. It is not looking pretty, as Glenbard gets exactly what they want when they want. The only bad play they've had was that missed snap and a pitch out to Smith, who just drives in the end zone. Great surge by their offensive line. You don't see many Bulldogs in the backfield, and if they are, they're not there for long. Their offensive line, the offensive line of Glenbard South is doing fantastic. And with this kick by Hernandez, Glenbard South will be up by 4 scores. It's not even halftime yet. This is not looking pretty, folks, as Hernandez puts it well through the uprights. Caught by someone in the student section. Okay. Score is now 28-0. Glenbard South with 6:19 left in the first half. Okie dokie. And Hernandez, after smashing through the extra point, come out to kick off to the Bulldogs. And Hernandez is a boot. He's kicked it into the end zone once before today. And here he comes again. Another crushing kick. This may fly into the end zone, and no. Dixon saves it and brings it out. Gets a little bit of a hole and cuts upfield. Flag is thrown. Possibly holding, possibly blocking the back. Probably on the Bulldogs. Blocking the back on the Bulldogs. There we go. And the great return by Dixon negated by a costly penalty. I saw the block in the back. It was away from the play, too. Mental. I don't think coming into the game, the Bulldogs never seem to be in the right mindset. You know, they do a lot of mental preparation. Traveling on the road, the bus is always silent. Everyone is getting prepared in their own way. But doesn't seem to be helping tonight. Pacer in the backfield. Davis split out left. Swift under center. Snap to Swift. Swift could get hit here. Oh, and there he goes. Number 90, Erwin Lane, just ran around the double team. He was getting double teamed on that play, and he just ran straight around it and crushed the quarterback. My goodness. Swift was down before he even had a chance to look up the field. That's that speed pass rush. Erwin Lane, not only can you have a monster bull rush as we've seen earlier this game, but that was a speedy and efficient pass rush as well. Swift, pitch out to Pacer. Pacer, lucky to get out of the end zone as that play loses yards. Pacer loses his helmet also. All right, now it'll be 3rd and 16 for the Bulldogs. This will be a long 3rd down conversion. If there's ever a time to convert a 3rd down, this is it. Let's see how the Dogs can do here. Swift lines up under center. Unbalanced line to the right. Tracy, the tight end, peels off. Oh, and man, this was Swift getting hit hard. Saying incomplete pass, not intentional grounding. Saying incomplete. Swift was on the ground before you could say sack on that one. And Ben Barandos comes out to punt the ball from the back of his own end zone. Not only has Glenbard been getting consistent pressure on Barandos so far, almost blocking it, but now he has to punt it out of the back of the end zone. I would not be surprised if I see a block kick here by Glenbard South. They've been very close every single time, and with Barandos moved up just that little bit by the back of the end zone, we'll see. All right, Barandos receives a snap. Good pressure by Glenbard, but held up. Oh, and that's a booming kick. And Rona has to take it, but man, there's flags all over the place. There are flags everywhere. I think they were both on a block on the back. Dean Ziglich was streaking down the field and almost had a clean shot at number 20, Andrew Rona, the kick returner, and he got chucked in the back. Well, let's see what the call is. Yeah, there you are. You saw it right on that replay. Fantastic camera work on that one. You saw Ziglich just get smashed. But there's another penalty, and I think that's what the refs are discussing, is where to spot the ball if this one is against the Bulldogs. Block in the back on the Raiders. That's declined. Holding on the Raiders. That is accepted by the Bulldogs. And it will be a first down for the Raiders. So there were 2 flags on the play. One on the block on the back you saw in the replay. Ziglich got blocked in the back. The second one was a holding. And the first one was declined because it would be more beneficial to accept the holding instead. All right. Glenbard South backed up. Now they're on their own 36. That is a fantastic special teams play right there. Ben Brando's huge punt from the back of his own end zone. And Glenbard gets their worst field position of the night. Maybe that's what Ben needed to get his stride a little bit, because that sailed over the head of the returner, Andrew Rona. But really, this is where it counts. Stopping Alec Jetski. And that's not how we do it. Tyler Scott gets a 15-yard gain. All right, Jeski. Next to him, Stanza. 4 wide receiver set. Gary motioning. Gary cuts upfield. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. Finally gets brought down with the help of a couple Bulldogs. All right, quarterback in the shotgun. Pump fake. Finds number 23, who gets brought down. That'd be Jake Duffy, listed as defensive back, but makes the reception on that one. It'll be 2nd and 7 upcoming. Great open field tackling by the Bulldogs on that one. Something we haven't seen much this game. As Duffy trots off the field, actually splits out right instead. See, watch his open field tackling here. Fantastic play by Mike Davis. Wraps him up. He's not going anywhere. Only a 2 or 3 yard gain. Jeski hands off to Smith, who just bowls over a couple Bulldogs. He gets very close to the first down, and he gets it, actually. He does get the first down. And score, 28-0. Glenbard South over RB with 3:12 left in the first half. Jeski and Stanza. Hand off to Stanza. Stanza wrapped up by a couple Bulldogs. One of them, Nick Kandari. The other, Nico Powell. All right, we're starting to see a little bit of life out of the defense now. We'll see how this continues to move. Granted, Zach Smith is not in the game, who's been gashing them for yards and yards all night. All right. Oh, and he's wide open. That's Tyler Scott, who gets shoved out at about the 8-yard line by 2 Bulldogs, Rogers and Richard Theus. Great route running right there by Tyler Scott. Left a couple defenders in the dust, and perfect timing with Alex Jeski, the quarterback. Jeski knew exactly where to throw the ball on that one. He knew the timing, and the ball was delivered in a timely and efficient manner. Oh, and he almost got blown up, except for a great block, a couple great blocks, and a couple broken arm tackles. That's Jack Curtis, the defensive back running back combo, and that is a touchdown for the Glenbard South Raiders. Oh, man. It looked like the Bulldogs were going to stop that play in the end zone. Out of nowhere comes Jake Straza, the running back, and just crushes the Bulldog player ready to make the tackle. Kick is up. Kick is good. All right. That makes the score. Glenbard South Raiders 35. Your Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs 0. Okay. Well, the Bulldogs now have the ball back with 2 minutes on the clock in the first half. It's difficult to say in the first half that the game is out of reach. But when you're down 35-0, it's tough to stay mentally focused and still think that you can win. It's a hard feeling. That is almost permanent momentum against you. If you have a good play, you look up the scoreboard and still see 35-0. That does not help you mentally. What would help you is if that 0 becomes a 7. And let's see if these Bulldogs, led by Ryan Swift and the first-time running back, Zach Paceker, can get some points on the board here. As Hernandez, roller, Lewis Rogers, again having a hard time handling the ball, didn't touch him, and, oh man, that was close. If that ball would have stayed out of the end zone and it would have been picked up by Glenbard, that would have been their ball. Unlike a punt, the team that touches the ball first gets the ball, okay? So if Lewis would have let that go and that did not quite roll into the end zone, Glenbard recovered, that would have been Glenbard's ball. They probably would have just scooped it and rolled into the end zone. That was close. Let's be a little bit more focused as this game moves forward. Lewis is also lucky that it didn't hit him. That didn't bounce up and hit him. He would have had time to pick it up if it had. Swift surveying the field. And he gives a brought down button. There's a flag on the field. Through by the head referee. Yep, holding on the Bulldogs, but the penalty is declined. Second down. Glenbard South declined that. It's the obvious choice. The penalty would have maintained first down, and they'd rather give the Bulldogs the negative second down play than give them a first and 20. Now it's 2nd and 15 as Swift rolls right. Feeling a lot of pressure and tries to get rid of the ball. We're not seeing a receiver, but there is no intentional grounding flag. There must have been a running back or eligible receiver nearby. Man, Ryan Swift has been on the ground more than he's been off it tonight. The defensive line, especially number 90, Erwin Lane, which forced Ryan to get his eyes off the receivers and step up in the pocket, is taking on double team. Yeah, it was ruled intentional grounding, as you saw there. So he's taking on double teams, and he's taking on multiple blockers at once and just demolishing them. We need to find a way to stop him. And there he is, number 90, Lane. Great catch by Lewis Rogers. And that gets the Bulldogs some room to punt. That's what they were looking for on that one. Now the disappointing thing is Glenbard South gets the ball back with 1:30. I think they have the offensive weapons to score. They have a great quarterback in Alex Jeske. Here you see Lewis Rogers being brought down. You know what? That was a great catch. The ball was thrown behind him. Again, Ryan Swift's underneath pass accuracy, not where it should be. But that was a great catch. That was a decent catch by Lewis Rogers, who has been struggling to hang on to the ball all night. Okay, now Brondos. Feet half in the end zone. Waiting to receive the snap. Fair catch called for. And Glenbard will start with the ball in pretty good field position from RB's 46-yard line with 1:33 left in the half. All right, and Alex Jeske in the shotgun. Zach Smith lined up right next to him. 3 wide receivers to the right. And that may be an illegal motion or a false start. We'll see what the call is. Yep, and that's an illegal motion. I don't think the man in motion, that'd be number 53, Marcel Matthews, was quite set. I don't think he was set when they began the play, and that's a penalty. All right, 1:32 left in the first half. 1st and 15 for Glenbard South. Snap to Jeske. Searching for a man, finds a man deep. Antone broke up the pass. What a fantastic play by Antone Dixon. Great job getting his hand in there. He was beat. He was beat by 2 or 3 steps. And he went back and broke up the pass. That's great conviction and great hustle by the junior. Man, Antone does it all for RB. He's wide receiver, starting wide receiver, starting defensive back, kickoff returner. They ask him to do a lot. And you know, he's in best shape of his life, and he's certainly playing like it. And it's a draw play. Smith, and he breaks a big one. Stiff arms. 2, and that's a ball. Oh, and he maintained possession of the ball. I thought the ball was out. Fantastic play, running over several Bulldogs, one of which Jaron Moody. Okay, I think the Bulldogs, their goal here should be limiting Glenbard South to a field goal. They have a great kicker. Glenbard South's kicker is fantastic. Jose Hernandez, he's better. He's way better than your average kicker as a penalty flag is thrown. He's way better than your average kicker. He kicked a monster kickoff after their first touchdown. They went for a touchback. That's rare to see in the high school game. And the flag was pulled back in, no foul. Alex Jeske in the shotgun, no accompanying back. Trips right. Oh, and that's a screen. Good play by that number 17 on the Bulldogs, who sniffed out that screenplay with ease. That'd be David Peardenach. One of the other sophomores who's looking to take a larger role in the team. Good coverage by Davis, who was on him as soon as he had the ball for a gain of no yards, if any, a loss of a yard. Timeout called by Glenbard South. Well, you know, the Bulldogs, that was a couple of good plays, a couple of great plays, actually. Keeping them at a 3rd and 7. But this is the money down. This is what makes it, breaks it for a defense or offense. This is where you need to get a stop, when you need to get a conversion. And he scrambles. Very effective on the scramble as he dumps it off to Zach Smith. Zach Smith shoves a defensive player out of the way. That is number 80, Lewis Rogers, got shoved out of the way by Zach Smith as he rolls in for his 4th score of the night. Presuming that Hernandez kicks the extra point, score will be 42-0 going to halftime. Not exactly the score the Bulldogs wished for on their homecoming night, but nonetheless a score they have to live with and have to keep their heads up and keep on playing. It's only halftime. Okay, can't give up on plays, can't give up on any downs. Have to still give 150% for your fans. An extra point is made by Hernandez. 6 touchdowns and a half. 4 of them went to Zach Smith. Domination, possibly. Glenbard South leading 42-0 with 27 seconds left in the first half. Right in Hernandez. Ready to kick it away. I'm not sure if the Bulldogs will try to take a shot here and just take a knee, go into halftime. Oh, man. Great, strong running by Jordan Petronella. Broke probably 6 or 7 arm tackles. Put him in a running back. All jokes aside, Zach Pacer, the junior, is doing pretty well. He's doing fairly well. He's not doing spectacular, but the offensive line isn't giving him much, but he's taking quite a bit. He's no Zach Smith, but he's out there and he's playing well. Ryan Swift, unbalanced line to the right. Swift. Good catch by Lewis Rogers. Shoved out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. But that stops the clock with 15.4 seconds left. Swift under center. Rogers near sideline. Swift looks like he may be running for it. Brought down with a big gain for Ryan Swift, about 7 yards, making it 3rd and 1. You know, he saw a hole, he took it. Decisiveness by the young quarterback. As we want to see, sadly, he did not get out of bounds or stop the clock, and that will end the first half. The score, Glenbard South Ravers 42, Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs 0. We'll be back with the second half action after these messages. Stay tuned, RB. All right, we're back with the RBTV Game of the Week. I'm Andrew Polewski, and here goes number 21, Gary, for Glenbard South, and he is streaking for the end zone. Let's see if he can get there, and no, he does not. Brought down. Great hustle play by number 48 on the Bulldogs. That's Richard Theus. But, geez, he just gashed the Bulldogs for a big one. Talk about good field position. They will start from the Bulldogs' 15-yard line. That is not what the Bulldogs wanted to do at the start of this half. My goodness. Handoff around the end. That was number 80, Javonis Hawkins. Gets about 4 yards, 4 or 5 yards. All right. And looks like Glenbard South went with a quarterback change. Now out there, Dylan Brambora. Brambora takes a snap. Hands off up the gut. Power running, but gets stopped. That's Jake Straza. Gets stopped by a plethora of Bulldogs just short of the goal line. Dylan Brambora, hands up the middle. And let's see if the Glenbard South player got there. No, he was stopped well over a yard short. And it'll be 3rd and goal from, with a long one. All right, Brambora in the shotgun. Next to him, Straza. Handoff, and that's a touchdown. Number 8, Darius Pitts gets the score on the little off-tackle end around. All right, now Glenbard South off a penalty. Actually, they're attempting an extra point here. Excuse me. And Hernandez will have no problems despite the bad snap and the mishandling by the Glenbard South holder. And Glenbard South takes a 49-0 lead. All right, now the Bulldogs they're not going to win this game. Okay, they're down by 7 touchdowns. They're not going to win this game, but they need to put points on the board. They cannot get shut out in their own homecoming game. They need to put points on the board here. They need to have a drive. Back to receive the kick, Marvin McKenzie and Anton Dixon. They need to get some first downs. They need to make some third down conversions. They need to do some stuff better, such as offensive line needs to block. Offensive line needs to block better. Running backs need to hit holes harder. They need to break through small arm tackles. Ryan Swift has to do a better job handling the ball. And Anton Dixon, mediocre kick return. Didn't really have much right there. Still brought it out to about the 27-yard line. All right. As Swift jogs out to the huddle. We'll see what the play call is here. Why not be aggressive if you're RB? Why not be aggressive? Why not just run your 2-minute offense? Get some reps in. I mean, it sounds terrible for your homecoming game. You know, just try to do something. Hand off to Pasker. Pasker gets swallowed up by the defensive line of the Glenbard South Raiders, who've been dominant. Not going to lie, they've been absolutely physically dominant this whole game. It's been hard for the Bulldogs to get anything. Okay. We'll see how Swift can respond here. Second and long. Great throw by Swift. Out to the running back Tracy. Tracy brought down by the sideline. About a 4-yard gain. Second or third and about 6. Snap to Ryan Swift. Ryan Swift looking for an open man. Has an open man. Picked off. Picked off. And that is picked off, intercepted by number 9, Jack Curtis from Glenbard South. Just adding insult to injury as the clock continues to run because of the score margin. .7:05 left in the third quarter as Glenbard South begins another offensive possession. They've got a touchdown every single offensive possession they've had. Something has to change defensively for the Bulldogs. Something. They gave up 76 points against Westside, but I would argue that they've had a worse defensive game. That was a great play right there by the Bulldogs. Number 65, Brendan Saborowski. That was a great play. But I would argue that they've had a worse game defensively this game, because Westside has a lot of great players. Glenbard South, not as good. Very good, granted. Still a very good team. You know, some of the players, Zach Smith from the first half doing really well. But they are not the same team Westside is. I know RB can play better than this. They're not, though. And it's kind of disappointing. But if you follow the team so far this year, I don't want to say it's expected, but there you go. As Dylan Brambora in the shotgun, inside handoff. They run that same motion where their slot receiver motions inside. That gives the quarterback so much. I think they are giving the quarterback a lot of liberty, either to hand off to the inside running back, around the end to the wide receiver, or take it himself. A lot of flexibility for the quarterback, Dylan Brambora, who's a junior. It's a good stop by the Bulldogs. Good defensive series. This is the first time that Glenbard South will punt all game, and it's a fumble punt. Ball on the ground, picked up by the Bulldogs. What a great play. Fumble recovered by number 53 on the Bulldogs. That's Jordan Petronella. Low snap, big hit on the punter. Ball flies out, and Jordan hustling out there to get the ball. Now, Bulldogs will have their best field position of the night. We'll see what they can do with it against a very staunch Glenbard South Raiders defense. Swift in the shotgun. Pasker to his left. Snap to Swift. Looking for Pasker. Actually for Zigalich. Zigalich is downfield. And that was a good 15-yard completion. Great throw and catch by Ryan Swift and Dean Zigalich. Dean has some great hands, and you can tell that Dean and Ryan are on the same wavelength. You feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect with Ryan Swift and some of the other receivers. As he bootlegs right. And see, look at that overthrow right there. Potentially could have been a big play. Good catch by Kyle Tracy. But he was wide open. He was wide open. And there's Pasker, who will get the first down. Great play by Zach Pasker, fighting for that first down. Now you see Arby start to move the ball with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. All right, and oh no, I thought it was a handoff to Marvin around the edge, but no, Swift takes himself and brings it down to about the 3-yard line. Great play call. I don't know if Marvin would have been free on that one. It looks like he may have been. Either way, the Bulldogs bring it down to the 3-yard line. Will it be a second and super short from the 3? All right, they're lined up in the I formation with Purple Peardenach and Pasker behind Swift. I expect a powerful inside run play here, and so does Glenbard South. They stack 9 guys in the box. Power run play, and oh man, Pasker's turning those legs and gets that. Oh, almost gets that first down. I don't know if he did. We'll see what where the spot is. And not the most generous spot, and the Bulldogs will have a 3rd and 1 from the 3-yard line. Does he get it? And he gets more. That's a touchdown, Bulldogs. The first touchdown of the game for the Bulldogs, coming with 1:37 left in the third quarter. Makes the score Bulldogs 6, Glenbard South Raiders 49. Ben Brandos for the extra point. And that is clear through the uprights. And that makes the score. Glenbard South 49, your Riverside Brookfield Bulldogs 7. Puts their first points on the board. That's awesome. That's just great. Showing mental toughness right there. Down by 7 scores. Coming out there and putting up points on the board. Mental toughness, emotional strength right there. It's hard. If you're an athlete and you're losing by that much, you know you're not going to win the game. That's just a matter of pride, going out there and not getting goose-egged on homecoming. You know, when the alumni look at the scoreboard now, they're not seeing a glaring 0 staring back at them. They're seeing some points on the board. Improvement from a couple seconds ago, as Ben Brandos will kick away to Glenbard South team. It's number 6, A.J. Gaffney. And number 80, Javonis Hawkins, to receive the kick from Brandos. Brandos gets a little bit under it. Right to Gaffney. And he gets not even 5 on the return. He'll have the ball on their own 21-yard line with a minute 19 and counting left in the third quarter. Again, because of the score at halftime, the clock will continue to run throughout the next 2 quarters because of the scoring margin. And now here comes Glenbard South, 4 wide receivers. Running back, motions the way. Here comes the slot receiver around the end, and they give it to him. Stuffed by a pair of Bulldogs. That's number 22, Mario Salgado, and others on the stop. The clock is winding down with 40 seconds left in the quarter. I expect Glenbard South to run probably one more play before the end of the quarter. Clock winding down, 12-11, and they're not going to run on that play. They're just going to let the time run out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is the end of the third quarter. Here we are, Brookfield Television, RBTV live from Shuey Stadium. The Bulldogs are down 49-7 to the Glenbard South Raiders, but are showing just a little bit of intention here on offense, and we'll see what they can do after the quarter break. We're back live from Shuey Stadium. Bulldogs are down 49-7 with 12 minutes left at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Hand up the gut for about 4. Make it a 3rd and 6. Glenbard South is playing pretty well, and the Bulldogs are playing a little bit better this second half. You know, if you take just the second half score, it's 7-7. So they've been playing better the second half. This first half was honestly disappointing. And it was frustrating to watch, and I bet it was even more frustrating to play as Zach Smith, the Glenbard South running back, just gashed his way for 4 touchdowns as Glenbard South converts on a 3rd and 6. We'll see how the defense plays for the rest of this game here as the clock is winding down. With 11 minutes left in the game. I'd like to take this moment to talk to you a little bit about the Classic Sports Network. RBTV.TV is now offering Classic Sports Network. See all the classics through the mid-'80s to last couple weeks live. And here we are. Handoff up the gut. Sniffed out by the Bulldog, number 52, John Simmons. Great play. Sniffing out, seeing that inside run. They've run that play pretty much every single time in the second half. Man in the slot, motions inside. It's either a handoff to him or it's a handoff to the man up the gut, or a quarterback keeps it and runs it for himself. Been very effective in the second half. The Bulldogs have also done a fairly good job stopping it. All right. Brembora in the shotgun. Hands it off around the end. And that was a handoff to number 6, A.J. Gaffney. Ball on the 39-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 6 for Glenbard South. The Bulldogs stop him here. They can get the ball back, and with a good return, could have some decent field position going forward. Okay, here are the Bulldogs. Fumbled snap. Recovered, looks like, by the Bulldogs. And that was a recovery by number 65, Brennan Siborowski. Great play by Sibs. Getting in there, getting that recovery. That was awareness. He was watching the ball. As soon as that ball hit the quarterback's hands and hit the ground, he dove on it quicker than the quarterback did. That is great focus by Brennan Siborowski, who normally doesn't get much playing time, but may deserve it after how he's been playing so far. As Swift trots back out to the huddle, hoping to put some more points on the board for the Bulldogs. 8:45 left in the fourth quarter as Ryan Swift in the shotgun. Davis at the bottom of your screen. Davis and Dixon all the way to the top of the formation. McKenzie motions across. McKenzie track speed. Cannot quite get going. Man, he's quick when he has a head of steam, but he needs to work on his lateral ability, cutting a little bit and looking forward and bursting upfield. He needs to try to find a hole and gas right through it, but pretty good run from Marvin. Be a 2nd and 8. Swift under center, 3 wide receiver. McKenzie in the slot. Great pass out to. Great pass and catch by Ryan Swift and Anton Dixon. Fantastic. See here, Ryan Swift calm under pressure. That pocket, though, was holding up. That pocket was completely holding up. Ryan Swift had all day back there. Great job offensive line on that last play. All right. He has all day still. Oh, man, and that is intercepted. Confusion on the play between Marvin McKenzie and Mike Davis. That pass was probably intended for Davis, but it went off the hands of McKenzie and into the hands of Glenbard South. And now Glenbard South will come away with 7:10 left in the game. I think that if Marvin would have either laid off it or caught it, that would have been a first down. If he would have laid off it, Bird probably, that's Mike Davis, probably would have caught it inside the 5 and maybe even gotten into the end zone with some strong after the catch running. Tyler Murrow split out on the near sideline for Glenbard South. Keep by the quarterback. And that was number 11, Dylan Brambora. All right, and RB will have to combat a 2nd and 4. And looks like on that 2nd and 4, he got well enough. That was Darius Pitts. Normally plays linebacker, getting some reps at running back in this second half with 5:45 left in the game. Glenbard South is just getting first downs often. They're running effective plays, great blocking, powerful running. There's really not much to comment on besides really the only thing that RB has going for them in this game has been the snaps. There's one again, and that's on the ground. Let's see if RB gets it. Has RB come up with this another snap? This would be the 3rd fumble off a snap. We'll see. No, Glenbard South came up with it, but man, that would have been the 3rd fumble. That was the 3rd fumble, or 4th fumble actually. I think they need to work on the center quarterback exchange. Otherwise, they've been looking spectacular. In the shotgun. Brambora. Ball on the ground. Picked up. And that is well in the hands of the Bulldogs. And that was scooped by number 87, Dan McGee. Great play by Dan McGee, keeping his eyes on the ball. Incredible reflexes to stay on his feet when the ball bounced kind of right at him. Here, let's watch the replay. Ball bounced kind of right up to him, and he just scoops it up and tries to keep on moving. Normally they tell a big guy like Dan just to fall on it. But Dan's a quick guy. He's deceptively quick. He can move. And if he would pick that up, he had his back leg caught a little bit, but he could have went for 10 extra yards there. Fake handoff around the end of McKenzie. Good throw to Dixon, right on the money. And the clock continues to run as RB has the ball down to the 11-yard line, 10 or 11-yard line. Second one. Swift under center. Hands it off to Pasker. Pasker pushing the pile. Oh, man, what a hole. You probably could have driven a semi through that one. And Pasker makes the most of it. Brings it down to the 1-yard line, or rather the 2. Look at this hole here. Great blocking. And no one touched him. He was untouched. Look at it. He was cradling on the ball so hard. He was holding that ball like he was expecting to get smashed, and he just wasn't. Great blocking. And there's the opposite of that. Gets stopped in the backfield. Zach Pasker had no room to run on that one, as several Glenbard South players were a yard deep. All right, 4 wide receiver slot. Sweep out to Pasker. Pasker cuts inside and rolls for a touchdown. Touchdown Bulldogs. Great play by Zach Pasker, fighting through a couple tackles and putting 6 on the board for the Bulldogs. Also very good blocking by wide receivers Kyle Tracy and Anton Dixon. Took out 2 players on that play and made a hole big enough for Pasker to get through into the end zone. As you can see here, they're both putting up big blocks. He got hit 2-3 yards before the end zone and just keeps those legs moving. That's the most important part about running through tackles, is when you get hit, keep your legs moving. And Brandos makes the extra point with ease. The Bulldogs now down 49-14 with 2:30 left in the game. Man, again, more points by the Bulldogs, even more points by the Bulldogs than normal. Nice job, boys. You know, down by 49 at halftime. Down by 42 at halftime, excuse me. Now it's 14-49. The second half, it's 14-7 the second half. You're winning score-wise in the second half. All right, Rondos ready to kick it away. Back to receive the kick. Javanas Hawkins and A.J. Gaffney. Benjamin Brandos. Got a little under it. That's going to be tough to field. Oh, man, Gaffney has to make a diving stop on that one. That was going to land right in between the nearest blocker and the returner. Strange but effective kick for Brandos as it puts him at the 20-yard line with 2:18 and counting in the game. Glenbard South, Dylan Brambora in the shotgun. 4 wide receiver set. And hands off around the end. And that's A.J. Gaffney. A.J. Gaffney gets smashed in the backfield by Kyle Tracy. Great play by Tracy. Sniffing out. You have to see that play coming at this point. I think everyone, if you're watching at home, as soon as you see that guy slack guy motioning, you're like, oh, here he goes again. Great tackle by Tracy. Fantastic play. And with 1 minute left in the second half, Brambora takes a knee. I think they're just going to kneel out the clock on this one. Well, you know, the Bulldogs played good. Doesn't look like about the score. They played all right, though. Defensively, better and better. Offensively, better and better. Maybe some momentum going into the next game. You never know. But you have to give props to the running back, Zach Smith for Glenbard South. One half. That is 4 touchdowns in 1 half for Zach Smith. 4. That is insane. That's almost criminal. That's fantastic job by the Glenbard South team. Tough one for the Bulldogs. The clock runs out on their homecoming night, losing to Glenbard South 49-14. Thanks for watching, everybody. So long and good night.